Well, as happens, things don't always go as we plan them to. I've tried a couple times to do a live stream on YouTube this morning, but the first time the software didn't work. Well, first of all, welcome to the first episode of Sunday Mornings in Bed. I am Elsie Gilmore and I love Sunday mornings in bed, and I want to celebrate them this year. So, this is the first episode of what I hope will usually be a live stream on YouTube and possibly also Instagram and Facebook. My name is Elsie Gilmore. For those of you who follow me, you know I am a weird, artsy writer, human lover, activist person. I've done a lot of cool things in my life. I have done a lot of sort of guerrilla public art on a micro scale. And I am writing several books, and I write regularly. I have a weekly newsletter right now of my writing. And I had a women's networking business called Women with Moxie that was amazing and all about people and my love of women and entrepreneurial and creative and smart and funny women. So, this live stream, as I said, is to celebrate Sunday mornings, which I think should be spent in bed, preferably with another person. So, as I was trying to mention when I was trying to do this as a live stream, I did wake up with a warm body in my bed, but it was my cat Libby, which I love waking up with her. But in the future, this live stream will include other people, such as my friend Amanda Patnow, who is a marketer extraordinaire, but also looking at doing some creative projects this year that I want to chat with her about. And my friend Dennis Mitch Maley, who is a journalist extraordinaire, along with a writer and a stand-up comedian. So I look forward to having each of them in my bed on Sunday morning soon. So this live stream is going to be not just about me, but about other people. But today it's about me because it's sort of the introduction. So, Sunday Mornings in Bed is kind of an offshoot of my Coffee with Strangers brand, which I still might do an audio only podcast of Coffee with Strangers. I might do sort of a weekly accountability check in on that. So, stay tuned for that. So, that's kind of who I am. I just got back from Mexico, which was a vacation I planned as kind of a restart after a very tough year last year. In fact, tomorrow is the 1 year anniversary of my mom's passing, which I can't believe it's been a year. It's kind of crazy. So I planned this trip to Mexico, and originally I was going to go with my significant other at the time, which was Paul, as those of you who know me know, but then we broke up, and I invited my friend Lisa. And I cannot imagine a better traveling companion than my friend Lisa. She was amazing. She drove in Mexico, which can be terrifying. I think you really need two people to do it. One person to navigate all the obstacles like potholes and large bodies of water in the road, and the other person to look at the map and make sure Google is sending you where you really want to go. So that was great. I got back a few nights ago. I'm still kind of decompressing from that, trying to put everything away. I feel like I bought a lot of stuff while I was there, but it was the first time I had been on a plane in 2 years, which is kind of incredible. I know a lot of other people have flown, but I just haven't. When I went to Vermont last summer, I drove. I had to take Libby with me. And the last time I was on a plane was also to Mexico with Paul to San Miguel de Allende in January of 2020. So it was nice to go back to Mexico. What was especially nice during this COVID time is that everything there is outdoors. Almost every A good place to eat is either just open on the front to the street, or there's a huge, beautiful courtyard in the interior of the building. And even a lot of the stores, just you open the front wall and it's basically open to the street. So I felt pretty safe there. And people, especially in Merida, were wearing masks even outdoors. So they really trained them well there, and everyone seems to cooperate and want to keep everyone safe. When I left for Mexico, the U.S. was getting worse, and Mexico was actually getting a little better. Mexico's gotten a little worse now, but still not as bad as the U.S. So that was great. We had to test negative before we came back, so fortunately we both did. What are my plans for this coming week? So I do feel like an exciting transition is coming into my life, and I probably say that a lot. This year just does feel different, and I feel really motivated to really dive into my creativity. My business, my web development business, is in a good place to do that. It feels really stable, and I want to see what I can do with some extra focus on my creative endeavors, especially writing. I am extremely dedicated to finishing a book before my 50th birthday, which my 49th birthday is next month. So that gives me a year, which is very reasonable. So I'm going to be working on that. It's actually going to be a book with a lot of images, and it's going to require a lot of layout. So I have software to do that, and I'm going to start doing that every day. The other thing that I've really been thinking about lately, I have always loved paper art, and some of you may have gotten homemade holiday cards from me in the past using pages from old dictionaries. And I've been thinking a lot the last couple of days about embroidering on paper, and I've seen people do it. I actually used to do a lot of cross stitch, which uses DMC floss, which is what you would use to sew or embroider on paper. So I've been researching some techniques and tools, and I'd really like to get into it. I'm all about the hugs. So like making art, that paper art, to send to someone that feels like a hug. And it's funny because I obviously would love to monetize my art. That's making a living from art is sort of the ideal. But I also feel a little bit like my friend Amy Knapp, who she makes these cookies. They're called Hermits, and they have an old New England tradition behind them. But Amy says that her cookies are either $100,000 or free. Basically, she doesn't want to make the cookies for a living, is what I'm interpreting that as, but she loves to give them away. So I think in some ways, some of my art, these hug cards or hug postcards, will be things that I only give away. Or else you can pay $100,000 for one. I think that's the way I'll start out thinking about it, because I want to do it because I want to do it. So I want to put all the love and thought into them without thinking about how much they're worth or what am I going to sell this for, at least at first, because I want to see what I'm capable of doing. I want to really do a lot of experimenting, and I think the same thought that I put into like embroidering a postcard or a greeting card could be put into making it into maybe an 8x10 frameable piece that's kind of collagey, has some beads or other things on it, notions, but coming back from Mexico, everything there is so colorful. I really want to do some really colorful things. I was very inspired. I bought a few articles of clothing that were very colorful and things to hang on my wall, and just I was struck by the bright colors, very bold colors of the things I saw in Mexico. So those are some of the things I'm going to be working on this week, and I'm really excited about that. I've set up I've taken over my whole my whole dining room table and set up kind of a station. I have this box that has all these notions in it, and tools and glue and markers and things like that. So I want to really get set with my tools. And I also I just bookmarked a website. I want to learn some new techniques. I would love to learn how to draw, paint, and what kinds of tools are used by other artists to make things. So I want to really lean into my creative side, things that maybe like I tell myself, like, I can't draw. Well, I mean, have you ever really tried? When I was younger, I actually had a sketchbook, and I used to draw birds from pictures, and they were birds that Vermont didn't really have. So it was fun. I used to draw crayons. I wish I still had this notebook. So I'm trying very hard not to tell myself that I can't do something. The only reason I can't do it is because I've never really put enough effort into it. So I want to work on skills that I've never worked on before, that I think as an artist, even as a writer, Vonnegut used to put a couple little sketches into his books, and I would really love to be able to do that. So yeah. What am I happy about right now? I'm happy because I realized there were 2 entire seasons of Letterkenny that I did not know existed. So I have started watching one a day until I'm done with those last 2 seasons. So I'm really excited about that. I know it's dorky, but I really like Letterkenny. And one of the things I really love about it is the first season, it was very much like male fart joke humor, and I was like, but I did kind of like the characters. But after the first season, it went into more of a Gilmore Girls wordplay kind of thing, and that's one of the things that I find really interesting about it, is that many parts of it are very poetic, and just the wordplay that they do, the long soliloquies of just rambling wordplay, I just think it's brilliant. Also, I love what a strong and unapologetic character that the sister is. I think her name is Katie. I can't remember. But the sister is just like badass. Like when she wants something, she goes after it. She's not ashamed of her sexuality, and she's just a really kind of cool character. So Letterkenny is making me happy. Okay, so to wrap up this first short episode, I just want to say again that I'm looking for friends, and I already have a list of some who have something cool or creative to promote and would love to climb into bed with me on a Sunday morning and tell me about it, and maybe share some. I have my tea here, but I can have coffee for them too, and just kind of maybe get Dennis to tell some jokes, make us laugh, do a little snuggling, and just, enjoy Sunday morning. I know some people work on Sundays, but I don't work on Sundays. And when I wake up on Sunday, I just want to be laughing and snuggling and using my brain and thinking about cool shit. And so hopefully that's what we're going to do. So thank you all for watching. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. I hope next time it's live, I will eventually figure it out. And so a few times it might be pre-recorded. Anyway, I love you guys, and I hope you are having a very relaxing and fun and wonderful Sunday morning.